Welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. So glad you decided to tune in and check out the prospect action from Sunday in the Dodgers system. Wanted to start with a veteran catcher, Chucky Robinson. Have a day, Chucky Robinson. How about 5 hits on Sunday? Now, every week that the Comets go to Albuquerque, it's hard to watch because they score 15 runs a game. If you like offense, I guess it's fun, but it is a very offensive weekend, no doubt about it. The first 2 or 3 games actually were pretty slow for Oklahoma City, which was a shock to the system. And then they picked it up, and then Saturday and Sunday, they just clobbered the baseball. Chucky Robinson was a part of that. So veteran catcher had 5 hits. You remember Chucky was in the system last year. He actually made it up to L.A., played 1 game with L.A., got DFA'd. He got picked up by the Braves. And then in the offseason, he became a minor league free agent. He chose to sign a minor league free agent contract with the Dodgers, and now he is back in the Dodgers system and had a huge day Sunday for the Oklahoma City Comets. Love to see, if you go to our shows at the end of last year, I mentioned many different times that he was really working with Bobby Miller. He was working with a lot of Ben Kasparius. A lot of the young pitchers kind of had that Crash Davis effect, if you will. So just kind of a guy that will do whatever you want. He's a very happy-go-lucky type personality. He's always in a good mood. Great depth to have in your system, as we saw with the Dodgers last year. He's actually a candidate to maybe go up and get DFA'd again. Who knows? One of those quad A guys. But major league experience, he has experience in the system. And so I wanted to shout out the huge day there for one Mr. Chucky Robinson on Sunday for the Oklahoma City Comets, because he had a huge day with 5 hits. And then not a huge day, but how about a huge year? He did have a huge day, but he also has had a huge year. James Tibbs III continues to make AAA pitching look like beer league softball. This guy is just absolute. Now, he got off to a huge start and then really fell off, and then he's now back to having huge results. And again, the ball carries in Albuquerque, because the most underrated part of playing in a place like Albuquerque or Las Vegas or in the mountains is that the ball carries so well that you have to have bigger parks, and which means you have bigger gaps, you have a bigger outfield, so there's more room to hit base hits. And then your outfielders, they have to play a little bit deeper. So the really underrated part of that, people think the ball flies out of the yard, which it does, but that's Drew Havens, I believe, right? No, that's not Drew Havens, but Drew Havens is on the Albuquerque team. And so you gather a lot more base hits because you hit it right in front of the outfielders. So a big day for James Tibbs III on Sunday. 3 more hits, 2 doubles that you saw. Those were doubled, 14 and 15. 3 for 4 for James Tibbs III, 4 RBIs, and he walked twice, so he's on base 5 times. And James is hitting .314. His OPS is .1038. He's 9 for his last 16 with 2 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs. And check this out, the WRC plus for James Tibbs III, 162. 162. Golly. So WRC plus, you say, well, hey, that's the PCL. It's a hitter-friendly league, and you would be exactly correct. But the WRC Plus is a measurement of how you're doing compared to everybody else. So that's how much better that James Tibbs III is doing than everybody else. And Kiké Hernandez, nothing really to write home about other than the fact that Kiké got a lot of at-bats over the weekend. And he got a bunch on Sunday, got him a base hit. 231 is the batting average for Kiké Hernandez. So there's to show what James Tibbs III, some of these other guys are doing. Kiké Hernandez, who has a lot of very quality, obviously, that's the understatement of all time, quality major league experience. He's hitting 231 with an OPS of 641. He'll get it going, though. The regular season for him is what it is. We know the Dodgers have him in the system for one reason, and that is to come up big in the biggest moments, especially in the playoffs. So Kiké Hernandez, it was good to see him get a lot of at-bats over the weekend. It was also good to see Noah Miller. The question about Noah Miller, it hasn't been defense. If you go to my social media, the X, Facebook, Instagram, I think TikTok, maybe not TikTok, and I think I might have even put a clip of him on YouTube here. The defense is incredible. Don't believe me. Josh Sushan, who is the play-by-play voice for the Albuquerque Isotopes, he takes you through how elite Noah Miller is and his defense at shortstop. So don't believe me. Go listen to a guy who is completely unbiased, could care less about Noah Miller versus any other shortstop that plays for a team that comes into town. And he went on and on about how good Noah Miller is defensively. So we've been telling you that. Not a good defender at short, elite, and we've always had the narrative with him. If he can just become a league average offensive player, this guy is really, really good, okay? Well, how about a WRC plus for Noah Miller of 112? So he's actually 12% better than league average. He's hitting 288. OPS is 826. So if Noah Miller becomes 12% better than league average offensively, then you have not a really good, you have a great shortstop prospect with Noah Miller. And it's always been about the quality of contact. Can he make hard enough quality contact consistently enough to actually be that type of hitter? And the quality of contact, no doubt, has increased and gotten better for Noah Miller. So that is super exciting. He is playing really good. Another guy, hey, I hated to see it. First time I saw Alex Freeland in an Oklahoma City uniform, I think I wanted to throw up in my mouth a little bit because it just doesn't sit right. I mean, you got a guy who's just grinded and worked, and he finally made it to major leagues. Now he's got to get sent back. Now, if you watch this show, you know that I don't disagree with any of the decision. That's not what I mean. That's not a criticism of any of the decision making. That's just, I hate to see it when a young man actually makes it. He gets over that finish line. He gets into the major leagues, and then he gets not a cup of coffee, a little bit longer than that, but not a whole. I mean, it's still May. I mean, it's still middle of May, and you're already back in AAA Oklahoma City. That's a tough blow. It was very hard for me to watch, but having said that, all you can do if you're Alex Freeland is just do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and just force your way back to the major league club. And that's what he definitely is doing. He had 2 triples on Sunday. He has an OPS of 1384. He's hitting 400 since being sent down. So Alex Freeland is absolutely tearing the cover off the baseball at AAA Oklahoma City. I get it. It's AAA. Understood. There's going to be people out there that are a lot more hardcore in terms of being transactional towards players than I am. And they're going to go, well, that's a quad A guy, perfect quad A guy right there. I can't disagree with you. I can't argue with that. All I'm saying is that all Alex can do is, control what he can control, and he's definitely doing that right now. Hey, a guy that I've definitely got my radar on. This is Jack Winsky. Another multi-hit game. Very good season for Jack Winsky. We've always known the pop and the power is there. He has added a very short, very direct swing. So watch how short this swing is. See how easy he makes that look. Direct to the baseball. He's not trying to do too much. He's just trying to hit the ball hard, taking his hits to the big part of the field. We just saw that. And because of that, the power is following behind us. See how he's just tracking that ball and just trying to get the barrel down to it. And because of that, he has a lot of power. Because of the hard contact, the ball carries. So I love the great hitter approach from Jack Winsky. That was the question. Can he make enough consistent bat-to-ball contact to actually make his power productive enough to be a major leaguer? I think at least at the AAA level. Again, I understand it's AAA, and most people would tell you the gap between AAA and the major leagues is bigger now than ever. So I understand. I'm not trying to create any kind of narrative like that. All I'm telling you is with the opportunities and touches that Jack Winsky has gotten since he's been in the Dodgers system, they have been very, very good. And he has my attention. Winsky's hitting 303. OPS is 1032. So a really, really good job for Jack Winsky. Keep your eye out on him. We'll see if he can continue to master that bat-to-ball skill that's always been the issue with him. And continue, don't lose your power. Continue to have the same amount of power and pop you always have, but then add the bat-to-ball to that. No power here, but man, this guy is ridiculous. That is 366 to first base for Kendall George. Ridiculous. And then Josue up, and then here he steals the space right here. 19 for 21 for Kendall George. And if you remember, he stole 100 bases last year. I don't think he's going to steal 100 this year. But let's see right here. This is what I want to show you. Okay, so this is why what he does works. Okay, so as we back this up, what I want you to see, you have a 1-1 count here. You've got Jake Geloff at first base. I think that's Jake. No, that's actually Sean McClain at first base. So right here, because Kenny George can bunt on a 1-1 count, okay? See where this third baseman's playing? That's what third basemen have to do, because if he can bunt, and if he just lays anything down right in here, and your third baseman is playing a normal depth, or if he's playing over or whatever, it's a base hit all day. So the third baseman has to draw in, which opens up this entire hole. Now, I have absolutely, literally no idea what Springfield's doing, having their shortstop cover second base on the steal. I get it. With a lefty, typically it's your opposite field infielder. So with a right-hander, it'd be the second baseman covering. Left-hander would be the shortstop covering. I get it. That's the default. But, I mean, have you not watched, like, any of what Kendall George has done? I mean, there's no way that your shortstop shouldn't be playing this hole right here, because that's the hole that Kenny George has hit over and over and over with ground balls. He's hitting about 60% ground balls, and then he's hitting them mostly to the left side. So good for Kenny George that for some reason Springfield has not paid attention. See how the shortstop covered there? Springfield didn't pay attention to that. That got him another hit. But I wanted to draw your attention to 3.66 to first base right there. And then also how he draws infielders in. And then once he does that, he just beats them by hitting the ball right past them with ground balls. So Kenny George did a great job at developing his game around his 80 grade speed, fastest human being on the baseball field I have ever seen. And it's good to see Joe Vetrano. He had 2 hits on Sunday for Tulsa. Just the trademark. Let me back you this up. Okay. His swing was not connected here. See how it's on the outer half? He's kind of looking inner half, and see how his butt kind of goes in the bucket. Watch his butt kind of got the bucket right there. He kind of pulled off that ball, but because he has such great hands, he was able to just kind of throw the hands at the, throw the barrel down at the ball. I know a lot of people hate that term, but you get what I'm saying here. There's a million different ways to skin a cat. There's a million different sets of terminologies. So if mine isn't exactly like yours, just understand what I'm saying is he wasn't connected. He was able to keep the hands back, and because he kept the hands back, he was able to throw the hands at the baseball and still get the barrel to it. And so he got a really nice double, even though his swing wasn't totally connected. I love hitters like that because that tells me they can be fooled. They know how to keep their hands back, and they know how to still make hard contact, even if their upper body and lower bodies aren't connected. But then this is what happens when it is connected. Pow, right there. Good job, Joe Vetrano. So you kind of saw the floor and the ceiling there for him. The floor should be, okay, well, even if I'm fooled, I'm such a big dude, I'm so strong, I can just throw the hands like that and flip the ball the other way and hit it off the base of the wall or the top of the wall. But the ceiling is, whenever things are connected, then I can just absolutely clobber baseballs wherever they may be in the zone. So I wanted to give you a good look there at, and again, I'm going to say it, hey, the batting averages, all of that, they haven't been great for Vetrano. He has not put it together. I'm not trying to tell you he's having a great professional career or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I think he's capable of quite a bit more than what he has done, but it's kind of showing you the potential of when he does put it together and starts trusting things, what it could be in terms of a floor and or a ceiling. And how about Roque Gutierrez? Now, you have to understand that Luke Fox, one of the better left-handed starting pitchers for the Tulsa Drillers, he has been injured since, I think, mid-April. And so this is what you have to understand about minor league baseball. He didn't get replaced. So what's happened in terms of replacing him with a starter the caliber that he is. So what the Drillers have been doing is they've been throwing a bullpen game every 5th game. Yesterday was a bullpen game. It was Roque Gutierrez's turn. And man, wow, did he turn in a great outing. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So that's great, right? So he walked the first hitter of the game. That was his one walk. And that guy that he walked was Noah Menlinger. I've seen Noah play for a long time now. This is his third year in AA, so very familiar with Noah Menlinger. No, there's no shame in walking Noah Menlinger. He's a really good player. So he walked the first hitter of the game. That was his only walk. Then he retired the next 9 hitters. Then he gave up a leadoff single in the 4th. Then he got a strikeout, a double play, and retired to side in the 5th. So Roque Gutierrez, through 5 innings, faced only 1 hitter above the minimum. So great job for Roque Gutierrez on the spot start, if you will. I mean, he wasn't penciled in as one of the 5 starters for the AA Tulsa Drillers. Again, opportunity. He got the opportunity. He absolutely ran with it, at least on Sunday, and had a great outing. And another guy that I really think is really coming along, and this is a guy who has one of the biggest thunderbolts for right arm in the world. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. It's like AMAC. I always talk about Alex Makarowicz, one of the biggest thunderbolts in the world. Okay, not in AA, in the world. Okay, I'm not saying like they're major league caliber pitchers right now. Don't get me wrong. Those are Ranch Dippers. The name for the Tulsa Drillers this weekend were the Ranch Dippers, and they had a bike show on Saturday night. It was awesome because they had the bike show, and I don't know if it was a bike show, but whatever. They had all the bikers in town, and it was really just kind of a festive atmosphere in downtown Tulsa. So Saturday night was incredible. Friday night was incredible. Crowds of almost 8,000 went and watched the Ranch Dippers for this weekend. Of course, everybody likes ranch, especially in Oklahoma. So a pretty fitting name. They'll also be the Noodlers. They'll have all of those neat names like that. But Christian Ruebeck, young man who can throw at 100 miles an hour, it's always been about, can he get the ball in the strike zone? And to be quite honest with you, to this point in his career, he has not done that consistently enough. See how that slider backed up on him? Not great execution. That's been the issue with him. See, that slider right there is in the middle of the plate. He knows that. You can see by the look on his face. But that fastball right there, that's ridiculous. So still some execution piece to go for Christian Ruebeck. But yesterday is his 3rd outing in the year, and he did not. So here's kind of an example of how good he is. He has 3 outings this year where he has not issued a walk. In all 3 outings, okay, he has not given up a run. Not a run. In fact, he's only had 1 bad outing, Christian Ruebeck, on the year. That came last week, gave up 3 runs, and he didn't get an out. So when you're a reliever and you have an outing where you give up 3 runs without giving up an out, it's impossible it takes months to get your ERA back in order because you only go 1 inning, maybe sometimes 2 innings at a time. But beyond that 1 outing and his other 5 outings, where he gave beyond the 1 outing where it wasn't very good, again, where he didn't record the out, he has 5 other outings where he's given up just 1 run, and he doesn't have an outing yet where he has issued more than 1 walk. So Christian Ruebeck, hey, keep your eye on him. Not that he's imminent to the major leagues anytime sooner like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But because this guy is he has a thunderbolt for a right arm, and if, I'm going to say if, not when at this point, because it's always an if with these guys, the light bulb goes off and the ball starts getting in the strike zone consistently, this guy will move real fast because his right arm is really good. So another great start in the system on Sunday. The young man out of Mississippi State, Brooks Auger, let's go, man. 4 innings, 1 hit, no run, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. So this is a piggyback game for the Loons. They started Brooks Auger, then they brought in my man, Jacob Frost. I love Jacob Frost. Jacob Frost, again, execution isn't great at this moment, but I love his stuff. I got a chance to see him in Stillwater when he came to Stillwater with K-State, and man, his stuff is good. 4 innings, 1 hit, no run, 6 strikeouts, and a walk for Brooks Auger. Brooks Auger is a professional glove hitter. I mean, this guy executes, and he executes, and he executes, and he does it with good stuff, okay? 4th outing of the year, he's allowed just 1 earned run, and he has 20 strikeouts and just 3 walks. ERA for Brooks Auger. Brooks Auger, the big righty out of Mississippi State that would rather go hunting than go to a Mississippi State football game. Okay, I got that on record. That was on our interview. Any guy who will say that on record, that right there, he's good with me. Okay, so just 20 strikeouts, just 3 walks, a average against of 190, and the whip for Brooks Auger is 0.94. Multiple pitches you can throw strikes with. 40 strikes. How about this? 40 strikes and 54 pitches that he threw. And 9 of the 14 hitters that he faced, he led with strikes. So professional glove hitter with about 4 to 5 different pitches for Brooks Auger. So a really good start for him, and a really not just a good start literally on Sunday, but then a really good start to the year overall for the big right-hander, Brooks Auger. Excited to see that. He is a wonderful young man. I have never talked to Jacob Frost. This is him right here. Kind of looks like Maddox Bruns. I'm excited to get to talk to him when he gets to Tulsa. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything really about him other than I've seen him pitch. But he had a really good piggyback. So Brooks started, and then Jacob came in through 3 2/3 innings. Through an inning, no runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Stuff is electric, man. And the execution's not great. Not going to doubt and not going to sugarcoat that. But when it's in the zone, you get outings like Sunday. And that will keep happening as long as he keeps executing. So Frost actually got the win. He moved to 6-1. ERA for Jacob Frost is 2.54. Just kind of to show you how good his stuff is, he's walked 17 hitters in 28.1 innings. 17. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, that's 3/4 of a hitter an inning. Almost every inning with a runner on first base. I mean, that's what you do to yourself whenever you have 1 walk per inning thrown, which he's at about 3/4 right now. So just to go to show how good his stuff is, okay, he's walked 17 hitters in 28.1 innings. Still, his walks and hits per inning is only 106, okay? His average against is just 140. So even though he's 3/4 of a hitter walked per inning, the whip, walks and hits per inning, still 106. So Jacob Frost, we'll see if he can continue to master the execution piece, but the raw stuff from the left side is definitely there. He is nasty, extremely hard to hit, so keep your eye out on him. And I love me some Nicholas Cruz. The Loons put it on cruise control. Nicholas knocked out the last 2 outs of the game on Sunday. West Michigan was done. They absolutely were done. Nicholas didn't give them anything really to rally around, and he just kind of put the game to bed. That's what he does. Nicholas Cruz, he comes in, he executes. Nothing is like, oh, wow, look at that. I mean, there's nothing to that with his stuff. It's just you look up, and, yeah, he's giving up a hit or two. He's giving up this. He's giving up that. And he just always gets the job done, and it just seems like his ERA is always good, and the slider's good, the changeup's good, and there's Charles Davlin right there. Good play, Charles. There's no trail runner, so you just eat it right. You just let it loose, okay? There's no reason to hit a cutoff man if there's no trail runner. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. So if there's nobody behind that runner at third, throw the ball all the way to home plate. Be a big boy about it, and that's what Charles Davlin did there. So Cruz got the first save, his first save of the year. He's gone scoreless in 3 games in a row. Again, the ERA is 5.06 for Cruz. That's not absolutely awesome, but again, you have to have context, especially for relievers. He had 1 bad outing on May 7th where Cruz gave up 6 runs and got just 2 outs. So again, when you have that 1 blow-up outing as a reliever, it is impossible to have a really good stat. So good job there for Nicholas Cruz. And hey, I'm going to bounce around right here. I actually had my notes in the wrong order here, but I'm going to bounce back to the AA level because I am not going to miss Zyhir Hope. I'm just not going to do that. So you're just going to have to deal with me bouncing around a little bit. This is Zyhir Hope right here. How about 3 home runs over the weekend, 2 of them to the opposite field, 1 of them to the pull side. Zyhir Hope now has 9 home runs on the year, and that leads the Tulsa Drillers. Now, his strikeout rate is right around 25%. His strikeout rate is quite a bit higher than his isolated power numbers. So I'm going to say this point blank, even though he does have 9 home runs on the year, the strikeouts have won the day in terms of the power. So the strikeouts have been more of a factor than the power have been. At least if you want to have a formula for how you evaluate advanced analytics, you may disagree with that because everybody may have a different way of looking at those analytics. But I like to use the stat ISO, which is an independent power index, and his ISO is quite a bit. His K percentage, I should say, is quite a bit higher than his ISO. So he needs to strike out less, hit more, hit for more power. The trade-off right now is a negative one, just from a strictly advanced analytics breakdown perspective. Again, you may disagree with that. So it's great to see him hit the 3 home runs over the weekend. It's great to see him have 9 home runs, especially hitting the home runs to the opposite field. Okay, I still think all I'm saying is I still think there's quite a bit of work to do to find the perfect version of what the perfect trade-off for Zyhir Hope is between striking out, the swing and miss, and then the power potential that he has. So just kind of wanted to bring that up again, not trying to be overly critical, just wanting to kind of bring that up and be real honest, at least the way that I see things here. Congratulations as we move now to the Ontario Tower Buzzers to Emil Morales. Next time that I report on Emil Morales, it will not be for the Ontario Tower Buzzers. It will be with the Great Lakes Loons, one of the most deserved promotions ever. When Mike Sirota gets promoted, it'll be one of the most deserved ever. When Antonio Knowles got promoted to AAA, that was the most deserved promotion ever. Okay, I mean, he had been in AA forever, but Emil Morales, congratulations. This dude is awesome. Okay, if you don't like cheerleading, you need to probably turn it off for the next couple minutes because I love Emil Morales. This dude, first of all, I start with his mentality, his happy personality. He is an awesome dude to be around. Big time leadership skills. Everything about Emil Morales, everything is elite, okay? His personality, his leadership skills, his tools on the field, his competitive element, all of it, elite. Now, will he remain at shortstop? That's, nobody can answer that question. Who knows? But this guy has done a really good job, and he just had a great year. He hit one Sunday that was hit an absolute mile. I'm not even going to give you statistics. They're incredible. But what I really like is, see this hit right here? We know that he has the power, but sometimes the swing gets long. Watch how short he gets right here. See how short? That's the difference right there. He has actually put that short swing. Now, I'm not saying I want Emil Morales to go to the plate and have a short swing and duck fart balls to right center every time up. Okay, I don't want him to do this every time, but he needs to have it in his bag so that way whenever he does get fooled, or if he gets into 2 strike counts, or in a period of the season where he's not seeing the ball very well, then maybe he can raise his floor if he just has that in his bag, because we know he can do that. Oh my goodness, he hit that ball out of the stadium. That was a ridiculous. I think that ball landed right next to the one that Max Muncy told Madison Bumgarner that he needs to go get it out of the ocean. Okay, I mean, so 2 duck farts to the opposite field where he shortened the swing up. 1 big home run where he just turned it loose and let it eat. Exciting day, exciting promotion for Joendry Vargas. And then another very exciting, so with Vargas going up, this is going to give Kellen Lindsey, who's back. Kellen Lindsey's doing a great job. Had him a couple hits the other day. It's going to give Kellen Lindsey and Joendry Vargas the opportunities to have a lot more playing time at the shortstop spot. 3 hits yesterday or Sunday for Joendry Vargas, back-to-back 3-hit days. I think maybe he's kind of catching the wind that Emil Morales has really, ascended above him in the pecking order, and the competitive element I think would kick in and say, hey, I better get my stuff together and I better get going so I can get back up there and be thought of in the same breath as Emil Morales. So good to see Joendry. The defense, I'm going to say it point blank, the defense on Sunday for Vargas was not good. He made 1 error where he stayed flat-footed on it. He made another error that was fairly routine. So I think there's a lot to be had defensively. But, hey, that's why you play the minor leagues. Max Muncy, I'm telling you, at the AAA level, when he came over, I think he was the worst defensive player I'd ever seen in my life. And it amazes me that he is as good as he is right now at the major league level at third base. I just would have never thought it was possible. Credit to him and the organization. So the defensive piece, I never worry about too much. To me, that's just a matter of work, putting the work in. Hitting is hard. I mean, there's a certain amount of, you have to have, just certain traits that are just born into you. I think there's, eye-hand coordination, those kind of, you can make them better, but I think a lot of guys either have it or they don't. Defensively, I think you can keep working and get better. This is Mason Estrada. Mason Estrada has been, his ERA overall isn't that great because he got off to a slow start, but 3 really great outings in a row for Mason Estrada. Okay, those are all of his outings in May. So all 3 outings in May have been great for him. Gave up just 1 run in his last outing in 4 innings, threw 2 scoreless in his first outing in May. Okay, 22-year-old, really wicked stuff. That good fastball right there. MIT, so he's really smart. And again, he's like these other guys. When he is in the strike zone, he is really, really, really good. And he's done that in May. So Mason Estrada is a guy that has really turned some heads here with his last 3 starts in Ontario. So keep your eye out for him. That's going to do it for me today for Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. I want to thank you for tuning in. And as always, remind you, it's a great day to be a Dodger.